Hello out there in YouTube land. Brian Zane here, and welcome to our live watch along and riff of Ultimate Deathmatch. I apologize for a bit of a delay in the broadcast. We're a few minutes late. I hate being late, but sometimes there's technological difficulties, and well, this was the culprit. So thanks, Blue Snowball Microphone. If you thought that Just Another Romantic Wrestling Comedy was a bad movie, well, you'd be right. But I would argue that today's offering is even worse. You might have seen my review of the movie I did several months ago, but it's not enough for me to just show you the occasional snippets to demonstrate how awful this movie is. I got to show you the whole thing. We got to go through this together, but I'm not going to go through this again without some help. It's time for me to introduce to you my special guests for this afternoon. First, hailing all the way from England, he is the man behind Botchamania with more than 420 episodes and counting. Somebody call Rob Van Dam. He's also part of the Cultaholic crew. You've seen him on stage with me, with Internet Darlings, Wrestle Crap Live, and so forth, and I'm glad to have him back. My good friend, Maffew. Hello, Maffew. How you doing?
Brian, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for picking only the finest of wrestling chunks for us to eat here in this gathering of soup lovers. Bloody hell. You said to me, have you seen the film before? I watched 20 minutes of it and went, you know what? No, I might as well just watch this with you and laugh then. Because just from a production level, you've made lots of short films and mini films before. My God.
I hope to God that if I make a movie, it will never look as bad as this, but we're going to get into that for sure. How you holding up these days? I see you're kind of growing everything out pandemic style. Like,
that's exactly it. Yes. When I look at photos from years later and go, why did I look like that? Why did I look like I was in the Forgotten Sons? And I go, oh, that's because it was the forgotten year. Yeah. The only thing I have to brag about in 2020 is the fact that I've watched 800 episodes of One Piece.
There you go. I've been seeing you're tracking your progress with your weekly show updates. So,
thank you for reading them, Brian.
It's almost like I'm watching One Piece as well. I don't even watch anime. Our next guest is a multi-year veteran of the Squared Circle, based out of the Pacific Northwest. He is a former Defy Wrestling Tag Team Champion. He's the owner of Destiny City Comics in Tacoma, Washington. And today he's going to lend his expertise to the commentary for this movie because he actually starred in this thing as the Masked Azul. And I hope I'm not breaking too much kayfabe when I say that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Ethan HD. Okay, it's a black screen. It's always the third guest. There he is. How you doing, Ethan?
Doing good. I got my 40-ouncer. So
you're
good man.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I got my Diet Dr.
So
Pig.
I'm ready to tackle this this absolute shit show of a movie.
Yes, it's definitely that's one way to put it for sure. Ethan, thank you by the way for taking time out of your day because I know you're running your comic book shop during the week and everything. What's it been like? Because you just told me before we were on air, you bought Destiny City Comics in December. The pandemic really begins in March. What's it been like to make that adjustment as a business owner in this pandemic?
It's been interesting. So I haven't had a retail job or like a real job in like probably close to like 7 or 8 years. And so I took over the shop and took over in December, which is like the height of the holiday season. And I'm trying to figure out how to like order books and run like a point of sale system and get everything figured out. And I went from like trying to figure out like everything from the physical in-store aspect and making a ton of money because it was the holiday season to the pandemic hitting, and then having to figure out how to do online retail and making significantly less money. The store has literally been open longer during this global pandemic than it was before the pandemic. So
Just like
all
AEW.
I know is disaster.
Just like AEW. So thank you for being here. I want to remind everyone watching today live, at least, that, we may be suffering watching this movie, but we are doing it for a good cause because the proceeds from the stream's super chats will be donated to Feeding America. Feeding America is the nation's largest domestic hunger relief organization, and their network of food banks and pantries and meal programs serve virtually every community in the U.S., helping tens of millions of people, including 12 million children and 7 million seniors. So please, if you're able, plunk down a few dollars or so to help support this awesome cause. I'm seeing a few of these right now in the chat, and I will read all of these super chats after the movie is over, keeping with my live stream protocol. Now, Ultimate Deathmatch is the first of a trilogy. Yes, they made 3 of these movies, written and directed by a man named Sean Kane. This movie was released in 2009. It stars Al Snow and many others, I guess is the best way to put it. Now, Ethan, there will be time for us to go into specific stories about this movie and your experiences in it. But could you give us a brief overview? I know it's been 11 years, and I'm sure you try to block out a lot of this memory, but what was it like to be part of this movie? You hear me, Ethan?
Yeah. You cut out for a second.
Okay.
But like, you just want like a little kind of like,
yeah. What was it
little
like,
bit of,
basically?
So it was supposed to be a 2-day shoot that turned into a 1-day shoot. I think because they could only get that nightclub for like that day. And specifically, they had to film it all during the day. Like, the nightclub wouldn't even let them, like, film during, like, nightclub hours. They were literally just like, we're closed from, like, 8 to 5. You can film during then. And so he was like, we're filming it all. And literally every scene in that movie is filmed in a different part of that nightclub. I don't think there's a single solitary shot that takes place outside of that building. And I remember meeting the guy who was fun in the film, and he had like no wrestling experience. And I remember asking him like, so like, hey, what do you do for a living or whatever? And he looks me dead in the eyes and goes, I do business.
Is that Ilya? Is that the young kid who plays?
Ilya.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we're going to talk about him because he's all over this thing too. He's the executive producer, and he also is in this movie as a wrestler, and we'll see how that goes. Well, the wait is over. I know we've got 276 people watching this right now, and I know they're waiting with bated breath to watch this garbage pile along with us. So I warn you, dear viewers, as bad as you imagine this movie is going to be, I can guarantee you it's worse than that. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
To a part, Brian Zane made himself the biggest of the 3 people, one of whom is a professional wrestler. And by the way, please keep the chat coming. That's all I was doing during this lovely talk.
Most of you already know this. That,
oh, wait, listen to this.
When Kevin was kicking Vince's ass 81 weeks in a row, what was your ratings? You're around a 6, 7?
Yeah. 6, 7.
So what's funny is this is actually
from this one line he says there, though.
Yeah. Monday Night Football, guys, you hear that? Was going to Thursdays.
Sure it was.
Kevin and Scott was kicking the shit out of him.
Of course. And
that's how important it was. And then right behind
what are ECW's ratings?
That was pulling a 4.55.
Awesome! ECW pulling a 4.5. You must be referring to 4 to 5 people watching. So this already sets the scene that this is going to be a fantasy film.
Yes.
ECW on Sci-Fi couldn't pull half of that, let alone ECW on TNN.
It's like he had the speech planned for Kevin Nash, and then it's like, oh, Shane Douglas is here.
Cutting to Shane Douglas, and he looks just like, what the fuck's this guy talking about?
He's thinking, yeah, fuck Ric Flair.
This is the man who wrote this, by the way. This is Sean Kane. I'm guessing this is scripted.
Sports. How can you take away somebody's license because it happened to them? Jesus Christ, man. People die in football.
Squish. This person didn't know how to compress the film properly.
Take away my fucking license. And this is what I have to say to you. Fuck you.
Academy Award winning performance. Now that OVW scene you saw with Nash and Douglas is never brought up again. I'm pretty sure they filmed that when they filmed Ultimate Deathmatch 2. So they decided to import it to this one.
Yeah. I'm surprised they don't have starring Kevin Nash on the front cover.
Right. He might be on the DVD cover, I don't know. These guys are Sideshow and DeFool the Butcher, who I've been beaten up by before as a wrestler. So this brings back some memories.
I love this. Did they add transitions to the titles?
Ethan, are you there? Are you alive, or are you Memorex? You seem very stoic. Hang on.
He's just got something better to do.
What? You paper promoter.
You paper promoter. What a good working punch.
Right?
Like, there was no... I love the security guy. I love how there's no effort in terms of, like, setting up the shot, lighting it, filming it. I'm going to take you away and bring you back.
He could have, like, blocked out those punches, and instead he's like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like everything in this film is, like, one take.
That's
like,
I definitely got that vibe as well. Like they had time for one take and that's it. And you got to get going.
Yeah, I genuinely don't think there was a single thing that was reshot. like during the entire movie. Like even the matches, the only time they ever paused was to like put more like fake blood on us. But otherwise, it was just like go, 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 go.
And there's a lot of fake blood in this thing too. A lot of corn syrup being thrown around. I love how the fact you really can't tell these guys are wrestlers based on this.
I mean, sure, but yeah, like
you and I know they're wrestlers.
Yeah. Also,
Special
I like
guest
how
star.
special guest star. The motherfucker directed it.
I know.
Yeah.
Now we jump ahead to OVW.
What would you do, man? We're at a
Frosty James, or what the
and
fuck his
Giant
name
Bane
is.
dies. Frosty. The show has to go
Frosty.
on, man.
Get it? Because his name's
I
Al Snow.
understand, Gina. But
And what's
Johnny,
weird too is all of this stuff, this OVW stuff, is from the second film. Because the first movie didn't come out until after they had already shot the second one.
Human beings.
You know, it's like the Three Musketeers movies from the 70s or Back to the Futures Part 2 and 3 all over again. They film it all at once and they don't tell the actors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. That was a hell of a reference.
We lost the.
Thank you. I'm glad that you got that one.
Yeah, I know.
But I came up with this idea. It's called the Ultimate Death Match.
So yeah, this is the
Hey,
so
sweetheart.
Sean plays a promoter who had a wrestler die in the ring, and now he's putting on a
All
death
credits.
match
I had an
tournament.
idea about doing a show.
Bobcat,
He's gonna do
my
a-
God, former hardcore champions here in the
Death
shot.
match.
Snow and
It's
Bobcat.
like a big tournament. And the
I wish I could have shown you the script for like this movie, like what you sent us. I sent you the one for the third one.
Third, yeah, and that's terrible. I couldn't get through the first couple
Are you gonna
pages.
trust that jackass?
It's so full of
serious?
spelling errors, but like the script he sent us for the first movie has like so many things that don't even come close to appearing. Like there's supposed to be like a shootout and like a car chase.
You know, we've been
Like
down
he
this road
wrote
for-
just like
no,
this
no,
insane
it's
fucking
ridiculous.
movie.
Stupid.
And then
I
come
know
like
it's
show day, he was just like, fuck all of it. Just wrestling and endless exposition.
For listening to
Oh,
this
there's a
crap.
lot of that
I'm
for
not
sure.
listening to it.
I don't, you know what? I don't even want to hear this crap anymore. You're stupid.
Yeah, so the scene where Frosty
You
said,
always-
well, a wrestler died at a show, and the promoter went, well, you kill every show you wrestle on, so what's the issue?
Yeah, not the first time Al Snow's witness had been part of a show dying on him.
What's ATF doing here?
We got the call and
Doesn't he look like an ATF official?
What?
He looks like Undertaker. Looks like Brian Lee on a bad day.
You're kidding.
That's why we're here.
So do you think this was filmed in the nightclub as well in Longview, Ethan?
Yeah, this is okay. This is like the upstairs of it.
Yeah. Now here's some more
Oh, this is
OVW
great.
footage that is never referenced again. You don't see these guys in the rest of this particular movie.
Do they know that they've been filmed? Because take a shot every time one of them looks at the camera.
Yeah, and like it's really hard to tell like how much of it is Sean Kane playing himself.
Oh.
There's this one, and how much of it's him playing this promoter because he's like typing out to these guys. But then like in that first scene, he's like talking to the trainees as well about remember how good wrestling used to be, and like that never went anywhere.
Hey, Wagner. I guess that address to the death match for you.
I love
On
how
a
the-
fucking post-it note.
Why is there all the cuts here?
I love that
lo-
he could have emailed him the address and all this info. Oh, I'll just walk it over.
with a post-it note. I love how this FBI office is lit like a Prodigy video. I don't know what's going on with these gels happening in the
Check
background.
it out.
You don't work in an office where the hallway's lit green? You don't have just green lighting in your hallway at home?
There's cuts to add tension to a scene where two men talk.
Right here.
But I love to make sure you know it's the
That's
FBI. He put the scales of justice in the background.
Yeah, and
No, no, he's got the
emblem.
FBI logo on one of his monitors.
Right?
Catching bank.
But I like how that wasn't enough. Like, no, we have to physically have the representation of the scales of justice.
Man,
Ah,
this is professional wrestling.
Transition.
That was the first day he tied a tie too. Ultimate Death Match. All the budget went into that graphic, by the way.
Hello, folks. I'm
So none of it went into this.
and welcome to the Ultimate.
At least
Death
this looks like a 2009 high pay-per-view.
Yeah, this you could tell they shot all this in one day with one take at a time because there's no quality control of how this is lit. It's like, he's horribly
That's right,
backlit,
Frosty, death
and then
for a
these
price.
guys don't have any cuts
We're
between their
excited about
lines.
this new type of entertainment.
Someone says Rob Riggle. Actually, you know what? This guy actually looks like one of the sportscasters I used to work with at the TV station I worked at before I quit.
That's right, Frosty. But tonight,
What's this
I'll tell you, here's
thing
how it's
covered in the
going
red
down.
blanket? Got the
We have a
fan.
round-robin tournament.
Now, what time of year was this filmed, Ethan?
That's right.
I want to say it was like the
That's
spring or the
are
summer.
no rules. Anything goes, and the only
So kinda
way
hot
you
there
win
probably
is
in
by
that club.
knockout or by submission.
It's getting hot up there in the club.
God, I'm trying to like. First off, like,
Camera gradually panning.
why are they,
Cameraman, the ketamine's kicking in.
He's really focused on that red blanket.
all right? But I like their offsetter because this guy on the left didn't fucking move out of the shot, so they had to like.
That someone is the winner.
What's upsetting too is like this isn't that director's like first movie. Like he made like 4 independent films before this, but this feels so much like somebody's first film.
This is
The
something I would have
Beatles.
done. I would have made these graphics in college on my first day learning Final Cut. This is Matt Farmer, by the way. He's good people. Books Defy. He's quite the historian.
So tonight, when I step into
Probably the most overqualified person in this movie.
Oh, fucking A.
Got it?
Now I gotta ask you, Ethan, were all the promos in this movie shot in one single go? Because it feels like they were.
Yes, we're literally lined up behind the camera, like waiting for our turn to cut our promo. Like, and there was no direction. Like, they were just like, save 30 seconds. Al will lead you through it. Al didn't give a shit about this movie. Al, this whole set, like, shoot.
In this competition,
You would assume he just wasn't getting paid. That's the amount of effort he puts into all of this.
He definitely had the panache, the acting skills of someone who did not give a fuck.
Am I the only sane one?
But I love the fact he's in all 3 of these movies too, so I can't wait to see how he progresses from there. Look at that sellout crowd. All 24 of these people only show up to one side of the room.
But they're talking and going, there's 30 million people watching the stream. Ha 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 ha. And it cuts to this.
Even in wrestling's peak, you couldn't get 30 million people watching wrestling at one time.
No, Brian, they had 4 to 5 rating ECW.
Yeah, that's right. ECW got 4s and 5s. Okay, now this dude, oh my God, what's his name? I have to look him up because I tried to look up why he keeps getting all this camera time in the movie. His name is Barry Ratcliffe, and apparently he's kind of typecast in movies as being an auctioneer in a lot of movies. That's his claim to fame. So this is their big get. This is their big celebrity star in this movie, besides Al Snow. It's Hollywood's auctioneer, Barry Ratcliffe, everybody.
Barry, reaction shot Ratcliffe.
He's not even
I also
auctioneering
love
in this
that, like,
one.
I love that the only real actor in this movie gets virtually no fucking dialogue.
Which one is
He's
that, by the
only
way?
there for reaction shots.
Which real actor? I was just like, where's Wally? We have to find him.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time finding any real actors in this. My only knowledge of Larkin O'Shea is when he and another wrestler tried doing like a promo battle on Facebook to promote a show, and like they were invoking Buddy's name after he died and everything, and it was super tasteless. That's my own, so fuck Larkin O'Shea. That's my take on that guy.
What's the second worst thing he's done?
Destroyer in his mom's house in the hallway, and ended up just back body dropping his friend into the wall and broke it. So that would be the second worst thing he ever did.
I love the camera work of this, by the way. At least they have multicam setup. I'm just glad they have more than one camera operating, but not one of them's a hard cam.
You've been very positive, Brian.
I try to find the silver lining in everything.
Positives and negatives of the film. Positives, multi-camera setup for the matches.
So the thing I hate about the wrestling, besides all of it, is that we were told to just go out there and do like 10 minutes of bullshit, and they were going to cut it down to like 1 or 2 minutes. And then none of that happened. So we're all like wrestling with the intent of like, it doesn't really have to make sense. We're just generating content. And then afterwards, it's like, oh no, they just showed the whole thing.
So you get 10 minutes of bullshit in these matches.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it seriously could have benefited from being cut down into highlight mode. But like, if you did that, the movie would be less than an hour long. Where did this brick come from?
Oh, that was it. So that's the other thing too, is so we were told, like the original script told us that like every match had to end in death.
Yeah.
So like So we all planned all our matches as if like the only way to win is to murder somebody. And so like
take a shot every time you shoot.
Looks like the atoll has been
Take a
taken
shot.
on.
So yeah, all the finishes are planned for death, but like in the end though, they basically rewrote to only the finals ends in death. So everybody kind of like dies, but they just get really beat up.
Yeah. So that's why like there's all these weird like non-finishes and people just getting hit with stuff and like it's over.
Well, you know what's funny is that the actual final match, and not to spoil anything, but the final match, the death, the way the person dies, is like the least deadly looking thing out of everything that's used. Because like we see chains, we see bricks, and you know you'll see what happens in a little bit. But I think that the final death is the most innocuous of them all. I just love like they can only get a couple dozen extras for this. You can tell. Oh, look at that. Look at that daylight between the brick and like, oh shit.
Because again, one take. There was only the one take, so there was no blocking any of this stuff. Like they were just like whatever happens, happens.
Did you guys practice or rehearse anything in the ring before you guys started rolling, or like was this
No?
just call in the ring, brother?
Yeah. Well, so here's the other thing. So there's no not to ruin the illusion of wrestling. There's no give in that ring. Like there's very little give in it because the spring made it bounce too much and they couldn't like dull the noise of the spring. So they took the spring out and like just propped it up. So it was like
2x4.
ridiculously stiff.
Whose ring was it? Is there anyone I know? You know?
So this is pretty much the rest of the film, by the way, because I skipped ahead. It's just matches.
Yeah. No, it's just matches. There's a bit of exposition in between. And I'm sorry we're waiting for Ethan to come back into this thing. But yeah.
Ethan's doing something better, like clean the store.
Yeah, he's better off attending this comic shop than watching this again.
This is the kind of action that you people demanded.
Did we demand this? I don't think we demanded any of this.
And you're getting it here on the Ultimate.
Al's not doing his best.
Yeah, God bless him. He's trying to really drum up the same kind of energy he had doing Sunday Night Heat.
Oh, fuck.
How we doing, boss? Just broke 10 million viewers. Nice.
Yeah, now got 10 million viewers.
That's a lot of moolah. Hey, dog, I've always wanted to ask you a question.
So Ethan he's taking 5.
How'd you lose your
He
eye?
can't- Yeah, how'd you lose your eye?
Masturbation accident?
Oh, this is the first of many syringe-based atrocities you'll see in this movie. The syringe is definitely a big theme in this thing.
Tell Frosty, plug the fact that there's someone going to die tonight.
There we go.
I think I got your back.
Someone will die.
Yeah, I would hope so. You've been advertising this for the last 20 minutes.
It's the only thing we have to talk about. And why is this shot on like 16mm and the rest of the film looks like crap?
Yeah, right. This is the best cinematography all movie is. There's old Jimmy Flame. Oh, who's that baby-faced assassin?
Ugh.
Drink the blood out of that stupid son of a bitch. I'm gonna wrestle. I'm gonna get some fucking pussy.
Jimmy Flame is the MVP of this thing.
Long line of wrestlers. I am third.
One take.
I have wrestling in my
One take.
long before anybody else even knew.
Did
what
third
wrestling
generation
was.
come to your mind as you were talking, or was it you were told to say you were third generation?
Gonna use a chain.
Oh my gosh.
Guy seems like a real jack.
Ethan's on for time for that answer. He's like a politician.
Yeah. Either, if you ask me.
Ethan, what was going through your mind when you said those infamous words from the film Ultimate Deathmatch? Fantastic. Great point, Ethan. Yes, I agree.
I apologize to those watching.
This shut up being overly harsh. I agree, Ethan.
Ethan's stream. Let me do something real quick.
Don't say that about Brian, Ethan. That's disgusting. He's invited you here.
Oh, boy. Ethan Booby, I'm sorry. This is your shining moment to defend your honor here, and now we're just going to shit all over
You remembered he was in it and went, oh, fuck.
So here's, Jimmy Flame. That Shane is going to be... Oh.
Oh, meanwhile...
Recognized you as a quality tool painter yet. You will. Give it time.
Now, I wonder when he talks about tool painting, does he mean like actually painting like hammers and saws, or like tulle and taffeta, like the stuff that goes on wedding dresses?
Tool painting is very important.
Tool painting.
All explained in Ultimate Deathmatch 2, colored tools.
I've got some important work to do, all right?
Sounds like this porn work.
That this is the comedy relief, as opposed to the uber serious deaths we see.
Look, I gotta go. Okay.
Right. We're sorry, Ethan. We're having a hard time with your stream. That's disappointing.
Trying to hide my. Really, I think I was trying to hide my face. I think that's the real goal.
He ran to put the mask back on.
Bye, Mom.
Ethan went for more beer.
What?
I'm halfway through right now. I mean,
She might
I'm
be
getting
a
there.
tool painter one day.
What is tool painting? Who's become famous by that?
They sell them down at the waterfront shops.
Like driftwood.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this movie really needed 3 minutes
did
of
you
talk
make
about
something?
tool painting and calls with mother.
Is this like? I feel like they were trying to have one of those scenes where like one of the characters makes like a really deep analogy to something, and then just miss the mark by a million fucking miles.
I've been recording it.
Also, I like how the color,
I've been
the
taking
color behind the
notes
computers has
diligently.
changed. It was red, now it's purple.
This thing's
To show the passage of time, I presume.
Go to IMDb and put on the goof section.
There's 24 million people going to be tuned into the site.
Yeah.
And look, if somebody
24 million.
network,
Like it's the
in
fucking Super Bowl.
country, this has got to be done by the book.
It is by the book.
Oh, he's watching it
For
too.
God's
I have 4 monitors. 2 of them are the home screen.
3 of them are not active.
Also, is he waiting for a murder to happen before he moves in?
That
Is that like what's going on?
Well, the
Yeah, we
Japanese
promised
love
that a
by the
guy's
way.
dying, so I'm going to see him watch it.
Yeah, it's
Because why
weird
wouldn't
that they're instead of surrounding the place and trying to find out what's going on, they're waiting for somebody to die, and then when it happens, they're surprised.
I think they want, you know what, we'll have fully fleshed those characters out, so that scene will make sense.
Yes, this is probably like the most exciting of all the death matches when there's like it's not a death match, it's just 10 minutes of bullshit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because again, like it's where it's just filler. But also, like the worst way to try to kill somebody is probably a 450 splash.
As we saw in the eye for an eye match, it was a very very lucha libre match where somebody tried to gouge somebody's eye out.
So do you, when you were booked for the Ultimate Death Match, do you regret just not bringing an M16 rifle? Do you regret training and putting the work into the gym?
I mean, as an American, I always regret not being able to bring an M16 with me.
Just cut out the middleman.
Right? Also, so that girl like towards the that girl in the black dress towards the bottom, there was like a whole throwaway thing where like she's supposed to be like my wife or girlfriend or something like that.
Yes,
and I'm supposed to be like I'm supposed to be like fighting for money or some bullshit. I don't like or whatever. And like none of that ever comes up in the film.
No, it's like there's 2 matches in a row where we get like wives or girlfriends, and yours is the first one. I was like, yeah, I'm sure there's some backstory we're not privy to.
Yeah. Jimmy Flame was previously seen as the person who turns into the Toxic Avenger. But, it feels like we're watching a film that wasn't quite finished. Do you know why that was? Was there any issues on set with the director or the budget? It says on IMDb, which was $250,000.
That seems generous,
to say the least. Running from Stephen
I would
Hawkins.
only believe it's $250,000 budget if Al Snow has a fucking pool at his house. That I would believe that.
Exactly. What was Sean like as a director? I mean, you said that he didn't really do much guidance in the matches himself, but when you saw like the actual the acting scenes, how privy were you to that and his directorial spark?
I mean, he was super like hyped about this entire movie. Like, he kind of came off like, I guess like Wish.com Quentin Tarantino. Like he was very excitable, and you're like, this is a guy that always knows where to get cocaine. But yeah, he kept telling us, he's like, it's gonna be this huge thing, and it's gonna have like an international release, and like you guys are gonna be megastars. And I was like, I don't know, man. You booked 90% of this movie off Craigslist. I don't think that's how like most classic films are made.
Yeah, it looks like the director got the entire cast with one phone call.
Right. Who was it? Who was it? Farmer who arranged the talent, or was it Sean? Like, how do you know like what that process was like?
Farmer got me, Jimmy, Larkin, Bolo, and Dash, and then the other guys just heard about the movie and did like the classic indie where like, we'll work for free. And he was like, well, fuck it. Less people I got to pay. And then Pauly D, who shows up later, the reason he's in the movie is his band was playing that night, and he has a Steppenwolf cover band. And so he literally got thrown in the fucking movie because they were like, oh, you look kind of in shape. But he was like, no wrestling training. He was just super excited to do it.
You have time to kill before your set to bring you and start in this.
The 2-song set we have later tonight.
Yeah. Oh shit! Here comes the chain. I just think those inflatable bottles of liqueur in the background, they really add to the ambiance of the setting.
Watching this movie right now feels like being in Tower 2 on 9/11 when Tower 1 was struck.
Oh, Jesus!
And just seeing this disaster happen and going like, I have friends in there. Oh dear God.
Well, it took half an hour, but we got our first 9/11 reference of the evening.
Is it too soon?
That's still not as bad as hearing the term Steppenwolf cover band.
Steppenwolf cover band is the 9/11 of cover bands.
Up next, the support band, the Europe cover band.
I want to hear that Steppenwolf cover band, by the way. I really want to hear them play whatever the fuck song it was they're known for.
Yeah, that's like, I don't even know what...
Wild.
Yeah, Born to Be Wild. What was that he hit him with? Was that a fist or a hip drop? I have no idea what he did.
He was trying to do the classic old Jerry Lawler fist drop. Yeah. One of the few ways you can legally pretend to be Jerry Lawler in 2020.
I do love the mustard and ketchup gimmick that Jimmy's got going on here, and he's Dynamite Jimmy Flame too.
Why would you have Dynamite and Flame together? That's just a bad mix.
It was Wednesday night Dynamite Jimmy Flame.
Is there? Oh, yeah, there he is. Yeah,
there's a little bit.
Yeah, I forget that they made you bleed too, despite you wearing a mask. That's just
No, this lady, like in the middle of this match, with like no warning, deadass just yelled "cut," slid into the ring, dumped like a bottle of corn syrup in my mouth, slid back out, and then like, all right, keep going.
One of the few breaks in the action here.
Yeah, but again, like there was no warning that like, oh, we're gonna pause for blood. They would just yell, "Stop!" throw some blood at you, and then get the fuck out. Like that was the extent of our FX department.
Oh shit! The Pele kick. I love how half the crowd is in that corner where the auctioneer guy is. Boom! Oh, and again, you can
daylight.
You can pass a truck through that guy.
Oh no! The worm from Labyrinth has been split open.
He looked at the.
I like how he also goes from 0 to gushing.
Yeah.
Who is this guy? Who does he is? Ric Flair?
What's even better is that there's clearly an assload of fake blood on the set, but later on, 2 of the guys who agreed to do this movie for free end up gigging for real.
Oh, it's the TKO and
Steve Rush.
Yeah. Oh God, those two in the match that means nothing in this movie. We'll get to that. Sure enough.
Yeah, but again, like they agreed to do it for free, and they're like, "We'll do like a real death match," and they're like, "Okay." He was like, "Okay, fuck it. You guys will maim yourselves for free." Sure. If there's one thing about this movie is that if there's any footage shot, it has to be used.
Yeah. No, I've definitely been in that position. Oh, there's the wife. I have to take a break from choking this guy to kiss you now. Now, did you know that? Was this woman? Was she in the scene in Washington, or was she just an extra who was brought in? Do you remember?
She was an extra. She's one of the extras that answered the Craigslist ad, which was posted like 3 days before this movie.
No,
like I think they filmed. Like they filmed it on like I think like a Wednesday or a Thursday. And like that weekend he posted it.
I love that.
Also, that guy's just an extra. They literally just grabbed him and said, "Hey, do you want to be the referee?"
Yeah, I love it. It's like, oh shit, we got to cover up this pinfall botch. Let's see what Barry Ratcliffe is thinking about.
I love Matty G's so into it. He's cheering for a chin lock.
Oh god. Oh, my
definitely
God.
back and forth.
I kind of wish I had just died. In hindsight.
Well, this is you are never seen again after this one. Are you in the other? You're in the Ultimate. Yeah, you're in 3, right?
Yeah, I'm in. Yeah, you were there.
That's right. I was. That'll be a story for another time. Is when I was on set for Ultimate Deathmatch 3.
So, Ethan, how long had you been wrestling at this point?
At this point, oh, like 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Right. So, did you brag to people and like to get bookings later on? Go, I don't want to brag, like, but I did do some work with Ultimate Deathmatch.
Yeah, I'm 2 movies away from my SAG card, guys. So I gotta bump my rate up a little bit. I don't know if you know this, but me and Al Snow have worked together on a few projects. You might know him better as Frosty.
So now, did you just try to put the chain over your abdomen as you were diving? Was that the move?
That was my game plan. Much in the way Sabu would wrap himself in barbed wire, I decided to wrap myself in a chain.
That's not bad. I think the camera could have shown that a bit better.
Or if maybe we had more than like 3 feet of chain.
Yeah.
Like there's enough chain to make a belt. Also, like all the props in this movie are just stolen from around the venue. So like that brick was like the doorstop. That chain locks up the back gate to the dumpster. Like everything, this whole film is like fucking improv the day of.
Yeah,
I'm not looking at the comments in the chat. What was it? Heisen says an Al Snow joint.
So I guess Jimmy Flame has won this one. He's gonna get paid.
Won,
He gets the pussy.
He's won and committed murder.
Yes.
End the fight. Is the fight over?
Is the fight over?
Even the announcers don't know what the fuck to do.
He's been choked motionless. I don't know, Frost. You tell me.
Ultimate Deathmatch.
I also love the other guy's name is Double R. I'd love to know what it's supposed to stand for. Oh,
I love
Dash
these.
Spencer.
I'm here backstage with
so much.
I know you've got to be
Aaron Bolo. God.
on edge tonight.
A lot of what might have been with Aaron Bolo.
Too
bad he had to retire.
Stepping into that ring to face another man to possibly take his life. Give me your thoughts on this.
Zooming in like the crying Indian.
Did Sean tell him to speak in Korean, or is that something he just did on the fly?
On a mission.
He's something he did on his own. He was learning Korean at this point, and I think this promo is literally all the Korean he knows.
Even if it means
good guy, Aaron Bolo.
Somebody's life.
Oh, dude, he's the best. He's the best.
Yes, that's Al Snow. Where's the library?
Probably.
Deathmatch.
I think Aaron was the last guy I wrestled before I became a manager, actually.
A lot of
So,
people
bit
are
of
going to be
history
paying
there.
attention to this.
If you ask a 6-year-old, draw what an indie worker looks like.
We'll be notorious.
Right? This was kind of the look back in the day, though, right? You had to get like the pleather vest. You just grew your hair out. You came out to a song that was cool when you were in high school. Like
Trapped, Headstrong.
Yeah, just down with the sickness.
Oh, poor little out for Trapped.
Your high spots tights.
Yeah.
It's
Easy
definitely
money gear that you ordered but never came.
Yeah, this is definitely a time capsule. Also, I like that the club tried to get some free advertising with like their name on that bed sheet in the background on the other side, but you can't see it because the lighting's so bad.
Oh, yep. And then there's another random girl at ringside who's somebody's girlfriend.
Yeah, Bolo's got a wife in this too now.
It's odd too that he booked so many girls in this movie and then like doesn't feature any of them.
No.
Like clearly booked all of these girls so it wouldn't be like a sausage fest.
She's dressed really classy for this venue. She's too classy for this, I think.
Oh yeah, this
Matty D is too classy for this. Big Pig in the chat says, looks like a guy you'd see at a game shop.
Poor Tash. And by the way, there are 2 Ventures in this movie who aren't related. There's this guy, Dash Venture, and then the one in the next match, Polly Venture, is no relation, just total coincidence. I think in one instance they try to call him Ventura, and that just totally doesn't stick.
So you're saying they're the Venture brothers?
Well, that's what's weird. His name is Ventura. Like he's supposed to be Paulie Ventura. That's like his stage name, or maybe his real name.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just fucked it up.
Yeah. And they ran with it. Little bit of trivia. Bolo also appeared on SmackDown. I think it was around 07 or 08. He was a job guy for a young Drew McIntyre, and they billed him as an MMA champion, which I think is hilarious. But
oh, the mid 2000s, we could just say that.
Yeah,
he's beating 50 dudes, whatever. A fun fact as well, Bolo's the only one in great shape.
He is. He has the best physique out of anybody in this thing.
I'm just speechless, by the way. You say all these great details.
Grabs the girl for no reason.
But like, there's all the stuff you say. It's fascinating how this film was made. It's much better than anything I'm saying. But the fact that this film was made and distributed on DVD, and there are proper film sites with proper reviews, like it's a real actual thing, is amazing to me.
It is a testament to the will of the human spirit that this movie got made and distributed.
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things where, like, on paper, you're like, oh, it's a cool sounding concept. Yeah. But it's just the absolute fucking worst execution of.
They didn't know how to do it. Like, Sean definitely seems like, I hate to use the term money mark, but that seems to be kind of what it is, where it's just like he's surrounded by these wrestlers he likes, and that's definitely emblematic in the next two films as well. But I feel it's just like, there's all these things that could have been done better to make this concept actually work. Let's jump cut there in the middle of the hold.
Caltag Star 96 is a good question. Did anyone in this, apart from Ethan HD, go on to do anything in the industry?
I think the real question is, what do you think I did in the industry?
Oh, that's not true, Ethan. You got me a fantastic intro with the great Carly one time.
That's true. I think it's like the first interaction we had. I messaged you and was like, if I can get you the great Carly, can I jump ahead in line?
Say, mate, you could shag me mom if you can get me that. And then you did.
Well, I guess
you didn't ask for segment.
I think if we're looking at all the talent here, Bolo was the closest to go somewhere because he did get that look on SmackDown. But I think it's probably the most exposure any of them got. So I could be wrong, but I think that's it.
No, he was one of those guys who was like on the precipice of getting signed, and then he ended up having like a really bad concussion, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, a lot of what might have been with Bolo.
At least the guy Bolo's wrestling, does he know that he's not going to actually die in this match? Because his facial expressions lead him to believe that like this is his last thing he's going to do on planet Earth.
Oh yeah, it's a lack of direction where they're told that they're playing for death when that's not how it's going to end up being on the final cut.
Yeah, I love that as little emotion as Al Snow's putting into this, Dash Venture is putting every emotion into this.
He's got a lot of different facial expressions going on here. He's really chewing the scenery. Look at that.
He's over-emoting.
He's hoping someone in the industry watches this to get a walk-on part and the Norm show.
Come on, man. You got to capitalize.
What's funny is I think like the year after this came out, I did Extra Talent for a SmackDown taping. And Jimmy Yang recognized Aaron from this movie.
No way. That's amazing.
Because they were friends on MySpace because, like, basically they're both Korean wrestlers. And so I guess Jimmy had seen the movie and, like, showed it to a few other people.
Don't tell me. Don't overlook Dash Venture. You saw what I did to Bolo
That
here?
microphone is not on.
I am capable
That is
what it's going to take
it's a sound from a different mic.
The cable's going in Al's pocket.
And so is whatever money he can get.
Oh, he's alive.
Why would you show
God.
that?
Thank God.
The thing is, though, is like I get murdered with a chain, and it's like, oh, that's the way you murder somebody. And then like somebody gets hit in the head with a brick, and you're like, that's a way to murder somebody. But then he like quote unquote killed him with a DDT.
Right.
And it's like, well, you're not a murderer, you're just a really bad wrestler.
He didn't know how to post, and so he fucked his neck up and died.
He killed it with a transition fade.
Yeah.
Also, who the fuck lit that scene?
I know. It's literally one giant spotlight in that room. That's the only light in there.
It's like when you're at a restaurant and like the windows open and the sun's coming through, and you're like, can you just close that like a little bit?
Close the blind.
Yeah.
Ethan, we have to be quiet. There was a Command and Conquer cutscene. Oh, it's gone now.
There we go.
Oh, fuck, yes.
That's not even this. That does not look at all like the same guy.
Oh, Jesus. Look at him.
Yeah, executive producer Ilya, whatever the fuck his name was.
Much like everybody else, I myself would like
Yeah, wait for his line, Maffew.
Take a risk like this. Put your life on the line in such a
Can't
competition.
even hear him.
I just love killing people.
Take a risk.
Sounded like he was
this to
taking a
step
bite
into
out of a sausage while he was
competition
saying
where
it.
literally, you're putting your life on the line.
I'm doing it for the money. That's why I'm here.
You should also go check out my
only thing
cool
I have
cover
at
band.
stake is getting more.
Why wasn't that like a storyline though?
See that?
Let's bring out Holly Venture versus the Python.
Oh, dude, this dude is so like, Ethan, I gotta ask you, so was this guy like training to wrestle at the time, or did you just think he could be a wrestler? Because he's got a bit of a build, and it's like he has what could best be described as tights, but he's got no skill, and he doesn't want to hit anybody.
And that's so I don't know, because like you would assume if you're putting up all this money for like a really shitty wrestling movie that you wanted to be a wrestler, but I don't know, because he also never made any like other movies, so he didn't want to be an actor. So like, what were you putting up all of this money for?
And I love
did you just
action
in Russia? Paulie's like Steppenwolf cover band is huge in Russia, and I think he really just wanted to meet Paulie, and like this was his way of doing it.
This was his boyhood dream, was getting to meet Paulie Ventura.
Wait a minute. Again, I'm just making sure I'm on the same plane of reality as everybody else. The Steppenwolf cover band was really big in Russia.
And yeah, here in Longview, Washington.
In Russia, they couldn't afford to bring Steppenwolf over, so they just brought over the Steppenwolf cover band.
They were the Gallagher 2 of Steppenwolf.
Oh my god, this is just. I thought some people are making some freight train comparisons. Barry. Oh shit! Now he's got his corn syrup on him too. Strawberry jam.
Of course, he's bleeding red. The Russian.
Look at this. And look,
Oh, and I guess he's dead too now, or he's knocked out.
But fighting in jeans in a wrestling match.
Other music playing. It should be.
Paulie, can I talk to you for a second, please? Please, can I talk to you?
You just extinguished a man's life. Can I talk to you?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 spotlights. I'm sorry. 2 giant spotlights. We're getting good shots up here in this movie. 3. We have a 3rd. Okay.
It's so poorly lit.
Why do you have it backlit like that? If you're gonna have this interview, you don't have it backlit.
But it's backlit from both sides, so that no matter where you're filming, you're going to get light in the camera.
You can carry me out on a stretcher, but I'm leaving with the money.
Well, if they carry you out on the stretcher, that means you didn't fucking win.
Yeah.
Also, if you're going to commit murder, maybe don't show everybody online what your fucking family looks like.
Yeah. They're going to be accomplices. Oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
Nice fight.
Yes, it was.
Caress this gargoyle.
Doc, go give me the beast.
Why?
You're not getting cold feet, are you? We are sticking to
That eye patch was, I bet you anything was bought from at the CVS down the street.
Oh, I guarantee
pharmacy.
That was definitely what I was like. I went as Jack Sparrow one year for Halloween. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to bring it. Maybe they want it, maybe they don't.
Yeah.
Mr. Reed. Hi. Heard you wanted to talk to us.
Who is this manager guy, Ethan? Was he working up in Washington? I don't ever remember meeting him.
Again, he's not a wrestler. He's some fucking dude.
Some actor who contributes nothing to this, by the way. It's all the Beast. It's all Matt Farmer.
Yeah, but that's what's so weird is like, it was like he just cast a bunch of people off Craigslist saying, hey, do you want to be in a movie? We need extras. And then the day of pointed at people and was like, hey, do you want to do this role?
Oh, Jesus.
Why would you give
And it was like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, some real good planning went into this. You can just tell the level of professionalism. Look at him gushing corn syrup, gushing blood, and the doctor is giving him a syringe shot of something. This is our
Giving him more blood to replace the blood that's coming out of his head.
Yeah.
It's our second instance of a syringe in this movie, by the way. Count them. You're gonna die tonight. I also love the paint job of the walls here. It's like the orange and red and like the gold sponge mat on. Now here are the 2 free guys, right? The 2 guys who work for free.
Yes.
TKO and Steve Rush. TKO, by the way, gets a stunt coordinator credit for this on IMDb. I think it's just because he takes a bump into the thumbtacks.
Which they brought all that stuff. Like
Sure.
these dudes showed up like down to fucking like have a full-on death match. And yeah, I want to say it's the TKO dude like gigged before they were like, yo, we got like fake blood.
I'm sorry, what?
They're already gigging themselves.
Yeah, I love we just jump into the middle of this match in progress, and it adds nothing to the story. We never hear from these guys again after this. They are not part of the
said
tournament.
that they were legit wrestlers, as if the giant pleather trousers, the
dead giveaway.
Yeah, the black shirts that don't fit. The bad haircuts gave it away.
Oh, Steve. I remember working with him some shows in CPW back in the day, and that's all I remember of him.
Was he blading back then as well?
I don't remember.
When he shook your hand, was he going, hey, Brian?
I never took him for a deathmatch wrestler when I worked shows with him, but I guess, I don't know.
I mean, you'll do anything for no money, right?
Right, yeah. That's the wrestler's code.
Yeah. And also, real barbed wire for no reason.
There's Hollywood barbed wire, guys. That's all I'm saying. It's...
Jesus Christ.
So do you think they felt bad when they watched this film? We're like, oh, yeah, we did way too much.
Way more.
Right.
It's the deathiest death match of this entire movie, and it's never referenced again.
Isn't this the one that not to spoil it? I think isn't this the one that ends in a draw? Like they both die, or
I don't think there is a conclusive finish to this match at all. It's just like they fight for a while and they peace out and go to the next scene.
It was just like, we need footage. Fuck it, send in the clowns.
Ethan, did you or anyone you know frequent this club when it was clubbing time and not filming bad wrestling movie time?
Oh, God, no. First off, Longview, Washington is like the middle of fucking nowhere. There's no way in fuck anybody would go that far. I don't even think that nightclub exists anymore.
No, it's not. I think it's oh God, what is it?
Probably like a fucking CVS now.
Oh, it's like it's a theater now. I remember like it's like they play movies there now, from what I saw, according to Google Maps.
They say all the dead wrestlers still haunt the CVS.
Very necessary bump into thumbtacks. He's just taking more of his own bump.
Oh no, it's not working.
It's like an episode of Fear Factor, and Joe Rogan's like, you gotta pick up all of these thumbtacks with your body.
I love that this match wasn't worth getting a little match graphic.
No.
I guess they're both dead now. Yep.
Yeah.
Fade to black. They're both dead.
Oh.
Excessive bleeding from thumbtacks.
Just the first round. Here's the ultimate deathmatch competition.
Yeah, think about that. Think of how long this fucking movie is. And that was just the first round. That is like Act 1, and you're like an hour into this movie.
Did they film this? Like, I would imagine this is the kind of professional operation that filmed everything in sequence. They would shoot the ring, go back to snow and double R, shoot the ring, go back to snow and double R, go upstairs, film the promo, go back into the ring.
Yep. This is shot in chronological order. So they literally keep cut. That's why Al Snow and that dude are there the entire time. Because as soon as they finished the match, they would just walk over and just start shooting their thing.
Oh, guys, wait. Live video feed.
I'll let God in history decide.
Oh my God, in history decide. This random mid-show interview with the promoter, whose name I forget now.
They are using different video formats, or at least frame rates.
Yep.
But they're not being consistent with it. We're going from the live video feed to the shots backstage, which are real, to when Al's being real, but it's still whatever. It's almost like they're trying to be Kubrick.
App round. Somebody put this highlight package together and then blew it up 150%, so you don't see the whole screen.
Oh, you haven't edited this?
I don't know who did this, but it's like...
No, this is in the movie, I mean. You're not doing this with the video right now.
Like movie.
This is the film as intended.
This is a recap of round 1, and it's so blown up, you cannot make out a blessed thing.
For the people sitting in the back, here's what spots you missed.
Yeah, you know what, though? It saved all those whiffed punches, though. They should have... They should have done it all like this.
how I avoid copyright strikes.
I don't think this movie. I don't think this movie's going to attract any attention, Maffew. I don't think we're going to get struck for this.
I don't see what the point of suing them would be, because that would imply that like they made money from this film.
Yeah, we're taking money from their pockets.
If you sue them, you have to get their debt.
Right? I refuse to believe we live in a world where this film turned a fucking profit.
Unless it was sold to prisons, I guess. I don't know.
If they put this on in prisons, they'd be going back to the cells.
This is the and Guantanamo Bay. This is the only film on movie night. This is how they're gonna get them to talk.
Let's see who the competitors are.
Now it's very
favorite.
And they're all like different transitions too, and they're not even the same size. Fuck this. Like this movie.
Extreme action. Here at the Ultimate Match Competition.
Hi, I'm also. I'm going to yell at this microphone because I was told it was on.
Yeah. I like that he has to pretend he's talking to a microphone, but his broadcast partner has no microphone. And they're just like, fuck it.
Barely has dialogue. Also, I like that. I feel bad for the audience members here because they also had to sit here for like probably 7 or 8 hours total to cheer for this shit. And I bet there was no catering, there was no craft services.
No, there was literally just bottled water because that's the thing. So like by the end of our matches, we were covered in like just corn syrup, and there was like no shower in this building. So like after you were done wrestling, you just lined up and waited to take your like horse bath in this tiny like grungy nightclub bathroom.
Taking a chance on you being the one to be.
Put your leather jacket back on.
I don't consider that a chance, because I've seen the other competitors here in Ultimate Deathmatch.
His eyes are piercing.
I don't know if any of them have it in them.
What drugs do you want? All of them.
Don't doubt Dash Venture.
Is he blink?
It's a lot of money and a lot of fame.
Got the cage lower there.
Again, I think like the idea of like they're doing it for like, oh, I'm gonna be famous doing this. But yeah, you're famous for murder. You can't like go out.
There's gonna be some
like OG didn't kill people because he's like, well, this will help get me more roles in the future. No, like nobody murders people to get fame. No murder as a route to fame.
I just love that you see all the natural daylight pouring in from the side, along with this like this gritty, grungy setting. It's like, it's just fun outside. It's nice.
And another right. Oh, and Beast has those fists taped up, basically the equivalent of brass knuckles.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, taped up fist is basically brass knuckles.
They say that. I've heard them say that on commentary before, and I don't believe them. I heard WCW say that too for a taped fist match. Somebody was is Dash Venture the love child of CJ Anderson and Drew McIntyre?
Oh Jesus! Also, I like that the Beast manager just looks like a maitre d'. Like, he just looks like he's anxiously waiting to take their order.
He put the jacket off and it instantly lowers his credibility. Oh, nice boot. I know we talked about, Farmer, or we talked about Bolo and what he accomplished, or, how he was kind of the one of that crop. But, not to discount Farmer. He worked for a very long time and he's very knowledgeable. And he's seen some shit. He's been places. So, got to put him over as well. Got to give Matt Farmer some love.
Oh, yeah.
I know the name Matt Farmer, but it's not ringing any bells. Where did he wrestle or do? Or
he helps run Defy Wrestling.
Oh, that there you go. I need to place him somewhere.
Oh God!
Did he slip?
And he's got to sell it. He's got to sell it.
Hey, there's a fly in the chest. Let me get rid of that fish.
Some chicks are into that.
I love his face.
He's definitely the MVP of this movie on facial expressions alone. He came to play.
Can the preview for this video, when you upload it, Brian, just be like a montage of his facial?
Just all his different eyes.
I like how you can see the daylight pouring in from that front door.
Yeah,
no, shush, Ethan. No. That's the murder room where they're murdering the opponents.
Yeah. No, they're bleaching all the blood. They're bleaching the blood to try and clean it out there where it's natural sunlight. Yeah, if you guys watch my review of this movie, you can see a shot of the flyer that Ethan provided me. The basically the open call flyer for all the extras and stuff, promising a bikini contest hosted by Al Snow, which I'm pretty sure did not happen on this day.
So I don't think anything in the flyer happened as promised because they like. Okay, so Dash Venture isn't even like his name is on the poster, but there's a different wrestler who's not in this movie. They use his photo, and they don't even look alike. Like it's not like their names are similar or similar look. He just like saw this dude's photo, and for whatever reason was like that must be Dash Venture.
Poor Caden Matthews, he didn't deserve that.
I love Venture selling like he's on stage for the Royal Shakespeare Company doing The Tempest.
I love it. Yeah, they're using a freaking like a chair, not like a folding chair. They can actually kind of like wield, but that thing's very unwieldy. This is way too crowded front row. You've got the camera guy, you have the fake manager, you have the audience members spilling in. There's not enough room. There's not enough room for that.
They're hanging from the rafters, Brian.
They're hanging from the rafters with the balloons on the balcony.
Tom Talks Rubbish just donated $4.99. Great cause. What is everyone's favorite WWE and AEW matches?
And whatever they are, they can't compare to this.
Yeah, anything after this. This year, Walter versus Ilya.
Seth Rollins watched this because I've got a great idea.
What, he'll have his hair.
Imagine if Jim Cornette saw this. He probably was involved in at least part 2 because that was filmed in OVW. It was filmed in Louisville. I know Kenny Boland's part of that one. I can't wait to talk to him about it.
He said, you killed someone in the ring. Fantastic. Can I be in it with Tim Horner?
Oh, the big spine on the line.
Gerbil squirt out of Dash Venture's ass.
That's called tonight by Al Snow.
What was it at the exact moment Al Snow gave up?
Al Snow earning his daily rate.
Yeah, he earned his wings on that one.
The mouth beast ripping and tearing at Dash Venture.
What's weird too is like Al Snow still takes like indie bookings, so it's weird that you wouldn't book him to like wrestle in this movie. That you would just have him do commentary.
It's weird. He's probably like he and Farmer are probably the most like seasoned, qualified wrestlers in this movie. Only one of them is actually wrestling, and he's way above his station here.
I'm gonna try that new character, Frosty.
Frosty James, baby.
So Frosty, I almost called it. Brian, how did you discover this film?
I forget. I think maybe somebody recommended it to me to review. Well, I mean, I know that I remember being part of Ultimate Deathmatch 3 or like being on set for it. So I knew that had to mean for the existence of a 1 and 2. So I looked some more up into it, and that's kind of how I decided to watch these.
See, that's why I got the reputation you have, Brian. Well, if I'm going to be in Ultimate Deathmatch 3, I better watch the first 2 so I know what's happening.
I better study up on this. Oh, Steiner Line by Dash Venture.
To follow it up, though.
Fucking yeah, jazz it. Al Snow's got the jam in this one. He's fired up.
I know I've used those 2 words.
Frosty's been taking the snow, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Over and over again. Because you wonder sometimes if
This just feels like Darkest Timeline Lucha Underground.
Right. This is Lucha Underground without a budget. It's literally all this is. It's like it has the fantasy and the death of Lucha Underground, but none of the production value.
Yeah, it's like that BoJack Horseman pilot episode they keep on showing on YouTube where it's like the late 2000s, what could have been.
Oh, get the manager involved, yep.
Gain the upper hand.
So Dubs X, someone's just said in the chat, wow. Yeah, you got us there.
Arkansas beat done.
But you have to have the guy in the ring.
Oh, shit.
Why?
Splat on the concrete.
Ugh.
Against the wooden floor.
Like the Hawaiian shirt fans, like, can I do anything to help?
All the other extras got to be a part of this movie. What do I got to do to be a part of this movie?
Can I just raise my hand? Oh, he let his water on him. That's amazing.
Imagine if you got killed in a wrestler. What? Oh, I thought at least somebody.
Hey, don't try and put yourself over, random fan. This is the wrestler's time.
Really be enjoying that.
Get the fuck out of my shot. This is my time to shine.
So is he? No, the match is not over yet. It feels like there's just killing time at this point.
This whole movie feels like it's killing time.
This is something they could have edited out, I feel. But if they edit anything out, this movie would be 45 minutes long, if that.
Yeah, and I think
it would be a TikTok.
Yeah. Put in a short film festival.
And I think that's part of the problem is I think like because the script had all these grandiose plans, and I think like once he was like, oh, I only have a day to shoot everything, it was like, well, we're just gonna make all this wrestling shit filler, because we weren't given like any time limits. He was just like, go out and do like 8 to 10 minutes of shit.
I can't imagine how a shootout and a car chase would even incorporate into a movie like this with ultimate deathmatch and wrestlers. Oh, is that a wrong side DDT? Why that's so wrong?
Yeah.
Right then.
Lucha Underworld.
Yeah, State Racing has Heavy Metal Parking Lot had better production values than this. Thank you for that. That's a fantastic reference.
So I guess another victory by way of DDT. Dash one. He lives by the DDT and he dies by the DDT.
He's almost dead.
But
by the DDT.
He leaves us with one final parting reaction shot. Yeah,
that's just gases leaving the body.
Yeah.
Well, he's the first one to move on to the finals.
The thing that bothers me about this movie is I can't tell sometimes if the camera guys in the background are like it's intentional, like they're supposed to be like filming the deathmatch, or if they're like supposed to be filming the movie.
Barry.
One's big guy is not even lit.
Oh no, are we not done yet?
Oh.
He's gonna drop him again.
Oh
shit!
Oh, Jim Ross was right. That is hey,
hey Barry.
I like he's supposed to be dead and he just wipes his hair off his face.
Always got to move the hair. That's my biggest pet peeve in wrestling, when wrestlers adjust their gear or their hair while they're selling something.
I hate when guys adjust the elbow pads. Like, just take them off.
That dude came to be in this movie. Look, he's better dressed than most wrestling fans. He came in because he wanted like a job interview. He wanted to really impress the director.
Final matchup is Paulie Venture taking on Jimmy Flame. So let's get to the action.
Yeah, buddy. Jimmy Flame.
I like that in the semifinals, there's like not
Why
even enough.
What's the Chono's jacket, by the way? So go on.
That they blew the wardrobe budget on that guy's jacket. That is the nicest article of clothing in this whole film.
Ethan, this might be a reference all you and I get, saying this venue looks like Rock and Roll Pizza North.
Oh God, yeah, it is.
Although I'd say this place has a lot more room for the ring than Rock and Roll Pizza regular.
Yeah, there's also a lot more fans around the ring than I've ever seen at the Rock and Roll Pizza.
Yeah.
Come on, ketchup, mustard, James Ellsworth, you can do it.
Ketchup, mustard.
Yeah, this was James Ellsworth before his horrific jaw accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
he actually lost his jaw in this
career
movie.
accident. Anyway,
it was a stunt gone wrong, and he lost his jaw in the film.
I lost my jaw filming Ultimate.
Put that on a shirt.
And he's
bleeding again. How's he bleeding? I missed what happened.
He got poked? I don't know.
I love that Paulie Venture is like it's fascinating the lack of care that the filmmaker had. Yeah, let's put these untrained people in with these trained wrestlers and expect them to have anything resembling a looking good match. Like, kudos to Jimmy Flame for putting up with this shit.
Jimmy Flame in 2K20, his trademark move is a punch, and his finish is bleeding.
And what's odd too is like it's not like he hired actors to like be wrestlers, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. You're not a wrestler, but you're like an actor, and it's a movie. He just hired like fucking dudes.
Like you said, he literally walked on because he had a set that night, and like we gotta put you in this movie.
Yeah, his band played that night. So like I don't know if it was like, hey, I'm gonna be in the area, can I be part of your movie? Or like they heard he was gonna be in town and they're like, oh, we gotta get the guy from the Steppenwolf cover band. Just think of it for the soundtrack later.
See all the Russian dollars.
We'll get the rights to his
Oh, fantastic. Please, comrade, put on the Ultimate Deathmatch soundtrack. Watching this by myself was a very horrible experience because I'm going to get 10 minutes into it. Watching it with you telling me all this shit is amazing.
The fact, okay, I knew this was because I haven't seen this movie since like it came out. The fact that like, what the fuck?
James Caan got more of a connection than this dude did.
He's throwing like those Shatner punches.
Or Shane McMahon punches even. Like Shane McMahon does a better job with punches. Jim's like fiending for something. He doesn't know what he's doing here.
Oh, come back.
Al Snow says Jimmy Flame looks like Ronald McDonald. I think that's one of the wrestlers up there in the balcony just watching. His shit's done.
Yeah, we're all just we're all up there just watching this, just waiting to get paid and leave.
Was there the big line for the envelopes? After
yeah, got that big. All lined up at the pay window, brother.
Well, I can either pay you tonight or I'll give you shares in the film.
I mean, I will say, give credit to the fans here. Oh,
yeah, great.
All right, remember him? Give credit to the fans for at least being into it. At least they brought their thunder, you know?
Oh, they're the MVPs of this.
Yeah, I don't know how they kept their energy up for like this. This is like legit, like probably like a 10 or 12 hour day. Like we got there like early in the morning to start shooting this thing. I think what bothers me is we were there all day, but it literally feels like this entire film was shot in the runtime of the film. Like there was clearly no setting up shots or like messing with lighting or any kind of like going over scenes. Like you could have, it's a 90-minute film. You could have shot in 90 minutes.
Here's more.
He didn't know how to edit, so he put all the clips on the timeline. He just went, fuck, it's done. Export.
Yeah, right? There's no script supervisor or like showrunner. It's just like, we're going to film this in chronological order.
Sean Kane was probably doing all those jobs, I would bet anything. But yeah, this is another thing they could have easily just cut down all this gaga outside the ring where he's just powdered for no reason. See, who are these people upstairs? Bring them down to put more bodies on the fucking floor.
Well, no, because that's all cast members. That's like me and Dash and Bolo up there.
Oh, that'd be so good if you guys just sat down and started cheering.
Yeah,
I mean, at some point you'll probably see us.
Bandages.
Hey, didn't you die? It's just you going, I got better.
Force Ghost, bro.
Man, J.J. Abrams is jealous of all this fucking lens flare we're getting.
Samuel Fuller, lens flares. This guy's got aspirations.
How the fuck? I love that the match with the two untrained guys, Paulie and Ilya, went like 30 seconds, and they're going a full 10 with this. This is ridiculous.
Playing for the
Signaling
audience.
to the crowd to
not do something. Yeah.
Push him over the top rope.
Wins via ring out, even though he already threw him out of the ring once.
That's right. He's bleeding everywhere, so whatever he's got, you guys have got.
Yay.
I will say, out of everybody in this movie, Paulie looks like the one guy you could pay to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he would do it. Like, if you came up to him, like, after one of his sweet Steppenwolf sets, and be like, hey, man, I got $500 and an ex-wife.
Yeah. Here's a properly formatted highlight package.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not really much into Steppenwolf. Do you want to pay me to kill someone instead?
And then to add more time, these highlights are in slow motion.
Oh, press F in the chat.
like
Jimmy Flames to shape you for 22. There we go.
There's also a little bit of like the olden timey like flickering going on for some reason.
One grain, yeah.
Like for some reason, it's grainy stock footage from the thing that just happened.
You may have forgotten, but what has previously happened?
Yeah, they're literally showing us a highlight from some 30 seconds ago.
Give it that real Go Fight Live feel.
The other thing that bothers me about this is that I don't know if this is supposed to be like the movie or if this is supposed to be like the feed of the deathmatch we're watching.
Yeah,
like it's never clear if like
production crew like put this there. Oh, here we go. More conspiring.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, Polly, would you take a seat? No, that's okay. I'm good.
I'm all healed up.
There's also nowhere to sit, so good call, Paulie.
Just sit in the desk.
Well, you know, came here to fight. That's what I came for, man. I'll give the people a good show.
I got to give you a heads up.
He's so cool. He wears sunglasses indoors.
For real? What do you mean?
I think he's going to try to hurt you. I think he's going to try to kill you.
It's a fucking death match. Of course he's gonna try and kill you.
I like how he's like, I didn't sign up for this. Yes, you fucking did.
Think what that can do for you.
Right, because the whole thing is like the tournaments build as somebody will die. Every wrestler has said, I'm willing to kill somebody for this tournament. And I'm like, yeah, he's gonna try to kill you. I didn't sign up to get murdered.
All right, the chat is killing it right now. Spade Racing and Stacy Pro can't decide which is better. Tragic Carpet Ride or Flaccid Carpet Ride, aka the other Steppenwolf song. And then Taldaxar 96 says he looks like someone's uncle who only comes around once a year and says something shitty.
Oh no!
This sounds awesome.
Yes, actually, Jake Reed.
Yeah, let's give some love to where'd it go? Let's give some love to Tragic Carpet Ride. Steppenwolf cover band
That
name.
means $7 million.
I hope it's
like we'll just say it and people will believe, right?
7 million. Such an oddly specific number too. Like, why not just say 10 million?
It's the type of $1 million that goes, oh, by the way, I'm supposed to be Uncle Fester under all this makeup.
In the final of the Ultimate Deathmatch competition. Unbelievable. Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
They love it. They love it.
The audience is mic'd the same as the announcers, by the way. It's all the same audio.
And if I think he yells too loud, that the audience goes out.
Let's do it. Let's bring out the competitors right now for the.
Yeah, I want to get a hold of Al Snow and ask him just how much of his soul he had to sell to do this movie, or how much he died inside. Hey, there's our syringe again.
Also, who loads a syringe out of like a
shot glass?
You got a drink glass? Yeah.
Number
I'm just gonna inject you with some scotch.
Trust me.
Yeah, I'll just drink this random whatever.
Absolutely.
Granted, nothing in this movie makes sense. To me, the fakest thing in the world is anybody accepting a drink mixed by that guy.
I also love how Ilya's an idiot. He's like, I'm going to go this way. No, turn around. That's the funniest part of this movie. That's the most genuine comedy. The championship.
It's like a 1980s cartoon. It's like, I am big, therefore stupid.
Oh, Ike Van Dyke is in
the crowd looks a bit bagged now. Yeah.
I forgot Ike Van Dyke is in this movie before he started wrestling.
Oh, I love that you could see like the Russian dude already waiting in the back.
Yeah, he's there in the back, waiting in the wing.
He's just standing there. Oh god.
Hell of a fight just a few minutes ago while the Beast sat in the back and got rested up.
You can see the goddamn camera guy in the mirror.
Both guys, the Beast and his manager. Who the hell is this?
Who the hell is this? Bro, you're like 4 feet away from him and you've seen this guy twice.
So he lost the first round, yet he still lives. That's an important distinction, is that he's not dead.
Like Impact Wrestling, he's hard to kill.
And also he's helping the guy who quote unquote killed him.
Yeah. Russo's booking this thing clearly.
Swerve, I wasn't dead.
We've been working together all along, and let's bring the untrained manager to also do some shit. Look at these strikes from the Russian Python. He's just
lens flare from the Russian Python, followed by another lens flare from the Russian Python.
I love that he booked this movie and was like, "How many wrestlers do you want in the finale?" Oh, just the one. Like he's like guy. As he's going, he's like picking off anybody who's like actually trained, so that by the end it's just like Farmer and everybody else who's just a dude.
He trips and falls. Jesus Christ! This is it. What is he doing? What is he doing with his arm? How is he helping with this beatdown?
He's holding that arm.
He's really got a hold on that arm.
Yeah. He's got the good arm.
Jesus, these kicks. I am MMA fighter.
I love them chanting cheaters in a tournament where somebody is going to get murdered.
Yeah.
Weird time to have a fucking code.
Oh, now you all have ethics.
Yeah, right. We'll support murder for the sake of murder.
I like to hold them like the gang hold Joe Pesci in Casino, but there was nothing from the look at. It was just that one big inflatable bottle in the corner.
And this is the last we'll see of Paulie, by the way. He's not dead, apparently. He's just beaten up. He's no longer part of this.
Oh, that dude's upset.
And it doesn't seem like he's beat up any worse than he was like previously. Like he was like bloodied in like the last one.
Yeah.
But in this one, like, but a couple like shitty kicks and like a face squeeze, and it's like, oh, I'm done.
There's a cameraman up there on the rafters, and you never see that angle. That I am definitely perplexed by.
I could only imagine it looks like absolute shit. How bad does a camera angle have to look to not get used in this movie?
Well, shit's flying into the ring.
John Breathless just says, "Is this a zombie movie now?"
Yeah. It's not even shit. It's the same like 4 pieces of paper that are getting kicked out and thrown back in.
Uh-oh, what's this? Why did it pause?
Oh no, Brian, don't pause it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Somehow my headphones...
Wait, how's there 20 minutes left?
Yeah, indeed, right?
Okay. Hold on a second, Double R. I think I need to make an announcement here.
Everyone, this movie is over. Go home.
All right. Just
We've
one
killed
second,
wrestling.
please. I just got word. Just 1 second, please. Excuse me.
Bye, Paulie.
Why are they? Yeah. Why?
Jake Reed, you two think you're pretty smart, don't you? You think you've dodged a bullet? You think you've run around the rules, don't you? Yeah. Well, Jake Reed has just informed me there will be an ultimate death match.
I was like how behind him there's some like
just
pedestal with a hat. Oh, it's a crane. Those are the hats of the place of prominence back there.
That hat holds the 7 million.
Yeah. All the money is under that hat.
I would love if in the middle of this murdering death match, they did like a 50-50 raffle, like an old like Carney Indie. Like in the middle of it.
We gotta help fund this. Oh God. Rabbit.
That would happen in the British remake of Ultimate Deathmatch. They'd kill a dude and be like, and the raffle results are.
I love this dude. Instead of his idea of selling is just rolling back and forth across the ring.
I would love a British version of this, but only if it's like Great British Bake Off, like, and everybody's like overly polite.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I have to bloody well kill you, matey. Oh, it's all right, mate.
Oh, well, that's
he kills him with a quiche.
God, poor Matt having to deal with this shit.
The one thing I will oh, there we go. Oh, I'm almost finished.
4 hours into the shoot and he's still smiling and grinning.
He's still happy.
What a pro.
The one thing I appreciate about all the random dudes in this thing is that everybody's willing to sell. Like, at least they're not a bunch of dudes who are like, I don't want to look like a bitch. Or like, I don't want to look weak.
I'm not going to lose tonight.
Yeah. I want it very clear. I am terrified to hurt anybody.
Oh, so shirt's been removed and we've cut to a different camera, so it seems got something offensive on his tit.
Strangling him with a shirt.
You know, because he put the money down for this, you know he's got to have the final, most noble death.
What the hell?
Oh, yeah.
I just don't understand.
I mean, if this movie has a $250,000 budget, I'm going to assume he put up $250,000.
Of those dollars. Somebody asked, did you guys know who was going to win it all? Like, did you read all the way through the script or just to the end of your part, Ethan?
I regrettably read the whole script. I knew you were literally just told that you were going to die, and that was it. It was 8 to 10 minutes.
They weren't even
get
right.
murdered.
They weren't even correct.
Yeah, we weren't even told how to get murdered. Like, we had to figure that out.
Just drops him like a bag of shit. I love it.
I'm not going down on one knee for this.
So aside from visibly not giving a shit about this, how was Al Snow to work with? Like, was he a nice guy? Like,
not really. Not really. He very much treated everybody like he was above them.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, I mean, especially at that point. But then it's also like, hey, man, you're also doing this movie. So how good are things really going for Frosty?
Yeah, right. There's a thumb to the eye again.
I'll tell you what kills me, Frosty. That one of these douchebags is going to walk away with $10 million.
Also, what a weird heel finish.
Yeah, right? Like the Paulie Venture, who is like the de facto hero in this movie, is a non-factor by the end. It's down to like this shitty, not wrestler you've never seen before, and Matt Farmer, who has to carry him through it.
Yeah. It's so fucking weird.
You know what, Brian? This is still a less painful tournament to watch than WrestleMania 4.
Oh, yes, you're right. I'll take this over WrestleMania 4.
Oh, here we go. Patrick Johnson. I keep forgetting how great Maffew looks in isolation. Thank you. And then Dan M. Maffew looks like Seth Rollins shrunk in the dryer. It was the best of times. It was the best of times.
Also, has the Russian Python been on his feet in like the last 8 minutes? I feel like he has just rolled around in garbage for 8 minutes.
This is a classic 2006 Brian Zane match. That's what this is, where just the victim rolls around and just sells shit for 10 minutes and like waits for the other dude to give him cues. That's all this is.
Yeah, sorry to think that Brian Zane lied. The money that you're donating in the chat is actually going to the funding of the winner of Ultimate Deathmatch. That's why the number keeps on going up.
Yeah,
we're trying to raise money for Ultimate Deathmatch 4.
Right. This is the Kickstarter. Oh boy. Okay, here we go. Best move of the whole fucking match is happening right here. Go, get up early. No. Jump
cut away. Cut away.
And then look at this. The camera changes from one shot to the other. Yes.
Oh, so that's the thing. So that pile driver is the one thing they filmed first. So that pile driver was filmed before anything else, before any of the wrestling. And that's why it's shot really cinematic like.
And then the battery died on the camera and was never used again for the rest of the day, apparently.
They had like 5 minutes of that type of film stock to use, and they went, well, we'll do the important stuff first, and then the wrestling later.
The rest we're going to film a mini DV.
Yeah, that looks all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't film like the whole movie like this. Oh,
no,
Barry,
no,
we hardly knew ye. Hollywood's auctioneer, Barry Ratcliffe, everybody.
Yeah.
Kim Man.
Yeah, you're right, Double R.
Yeah, also, that was the safest looking movie in the entire fucking movie. That pile driver would not have killed somebody.
Well, folks.
Yeah.
Well, that's a hit,
also, I love the idea that, like, hey, you're not trained at all. You want to take a pile driver?
Hands in this. And the murder
So all the other people have died in the film, but now in the main event, another dude's died. Now they're like, let's get.
You know what the fuck I'm trying to say.
Now
Oh no, he's active.
He's got to change of heart here.
Now it's too far.
Part of that murder. We had our hand in it.
Murder.
I'll watch 6 deaths. But 7 is bullshit.
There's your one use of that camera angle. It was from way up. They're all leaving.
That was all worth it.
Get off me. I don't know. I'm not.
You were grabbing him.
Well, folks, we told you at the beginning of the show, someone will die and someone will leave here rich.
He's got blood out of his mouth for some reason.
I also think it's funny how quickly the fans left after a guy died.
Yeah. It's like, well, I saw what I came to see. Final recap. In case, let's watch this shitty
Oh
shit
my
again
god. They're gonna do the replay
of what you literally just saw.
just rolling around. Just rolling around.
Ventura. He killed him with stuff to the head and a shirt. Justin Roberts would be proud.
I love that backdrop, by the way. It's just like, take your own bump.
Oh, brutal bottle shot to the elbow there. And finally, the safest pile driver I've ever seen, killed him.
Yeah, why would you also shoot that head on? Why wouldn't you shoot that from the side?
The wrong
FBI.
angle from the pile driver.
With his hand over the receiver.
Someone did die. Absolutely, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, bye, Mom.
Yes, sir. We're going in right away, sir.
So they knew where this whole thing was taking place, but had to wait for a murder to happen before they could move in.
Leave it.
All right. All right.
This guy looks like every film I've watched on Pornhub where it's got the word step in the middle.
What are you doing, step agent?
Yeah. Oh God,
But you're my step agent.
Step tag team partner stuck in the dryer.
Again, back on drop kick from Ethan
Now,
HD.
this is not only more highlights of what we've already seen, but it's also a fake credit sequence within the movie. So I guess this is like what the people watching the feed are seeing. I'm so confused by this part because all these fake names too.
And again, it's like a weird olden-timey like filter over it.
Yeah, which doesn't really fit the mood of a deathmatch tournament. And yeah, those are.
It's the Jimmy Hart Superman theme. Like,
So, but
these guys are all dead.
So here's what's weird though. So like, it says like Jake, like produced by Jake Reed, but then it says like Down the Rabbit Hole Productions, which is the actual like production company. Also, Brutus Beefcake in the credits.
Wait, I think Brutus was actually in
the camera.
I think, yeah, I think
Cornbread
he's in
ring
number
around.
2. I think he's in number 2 though. Nancy
Fart.
Ted Tingle.
I don't think this movie, like the credits, whether they knew it was going to be real or fake.
Yeah, they really are all over the place. There's that Steiner line again.
Also,
I think
this
he told
is
the
such
guy-
a long fucking like
I think I got
highlight.
Stretch for time. Keep stretching.
I think one time when I did a production for somebody, I half did it and did like fake titles like that and said, "This is what it works like. I want you to pay me, and then I'll fix it." And then they did. And then I corrected it. I think that's what this guy did. One of the credits says
He
Nancy
didn't get
Farr.
paid.
Give me money. And he went, "Nah, it's all right. She could be a boom mic operator."
All right. Now that's apparently the end, but wait, there's more. The aftermath.
This MCU post-credit scene.
You said it was fake. You said it was fixed. You said nobody was gonna fucking die. What the fuck are you thinking, man?
Rusty, you're one of the boys, aren't you? Aren't you?
Is he?
All right. There's a dead motherfucker in that ring. What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna change? You can't stop it. So what are you gonna do, Frosty?
I feel bad for the ring crew. They got to sweep all the shit and they move the dead guy out of the.
That's been right in the bank account, which it is $1.5 million. Or you can stick around and wait for the fucking cops. And you know what, November? We get to do this again.
Can't wait.
I don't know what to say, so I'm going to say fuck.
I also like how he acts like you can get arrested for witnessing a murder. Like he's like, "What are you gonna do? Tell the cops you witnessed a murder?"
Here's your plastic bag of money.
Here's the $1.5 million.
Yeah. That bag is his Uber Eats coming in.
They've been fine. Tomorrow.
It's his last line of dialogue, and you can't hear it over the music.
Yeah. Today is done.
Just and all introspective and shit. Nope. Sorry, it's too late for that.
I love you. Let's get remarried. All right.
Oh, there's bloopers?
Yes.
Isn't this whole movie one fucking blooper?
It's a big blooper reel. Czar Productions. And like I never watched this because I'm like, you know what? My soul is already just damaged from this. I can't watch. There's no more joy in my heart. So these bloopers aren't gonna refill that.
Death match, if that's what you want to fucking call it. I've been to Japan. I've wrestled in fucking Canada. I've wrestled those pussies down in Mexico. Fuck, I've even wrestled your mom and your fucking.
I do like Jimmy Flame's energy in this though.
I even wrestled your mom.
Trusted you to take a risk like this. I mean, Jimmy, one of you are possibly going to die tonight. Die? Yeah, that's the least of my fucking worries. What I'm worried about, I'm Jimmy fucking Flame.
What weighs more on you than death? Jesus.
God damn it.
Bobcat. She was in there for like. So the blooper reel is just Jimmy Flame.
Actually put Kevin Nash.
Credited Kevin Nash for his. Yeah, you know they were going to move Monday Night Football Thursdays. And Shane Johnson,
I don't know. Yeah.
said nothing.
Who were unaware they were being filmed.
Yeah, I don't know if you can film somebody without their knowledge and then put it in the movie. And it's like, oh, they were in it.
Crispin Glover went to court for that. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to do.
Okay,
now do it now.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Oh God,
that mic is way too high.
I mean, there was no audio engineer in the credits. We've seen this so far.
Hang on, let me put it up to my move.
Azule. I love
it. And it's fleece.
Oh, that's another thing. So like, the contract we got for this movie he put our wrestling names in the contract. So like it wasn't like addressed like to me. It was like Azul was signing this contract.
All about the Benjamins.
I was like, sure, why not?
Well, Dusty Rhodes had to no-show a 3PW show because they sent him plane tickets to Dusty Rhodes. And he went, "That's not my real name. I can't get on the plane as Dusty Rhodes." I'm like, oh, sorry.
You're taking an incredible risk here tonight. A huge
Notice that they also
chance.
changed the lighting
It's a big
between
opportunity,
takes of
I
these
understand,
promos, because that's
but
not how
you're
the
putting your
promos
life
were like.
literally on the line when you step into that ring tonight.
I'm not going to risk only my life, but I'm going to risk everybody else's life that steps into
Crap,
that ring
that's
with me.
generous.
Al Snow, this is what I've been designed
Al
for.
Snow. Al Snow.
Yeah.
I'm
Oops.
Frosty
Right now,
James
the
in this
beast to
universe,
beast.
Matt.
I'm sure you understand.
I look like that man from TV. But...
You're stepping into this ring and you're literally putting your life.
Okay,
on
we're
the
almost
line.
done,
Now, granted,
folks.
I know this is a huge
Literally putting your life on
So
the
wait,
line.
these are show 4x3, but then they were show widescreen. Oh, for fuck!
All right, roll credits.
Hey.
Sorry about that, Josh.
Ethan SD.
Yep.
Take two.
Did you just get on your tiptoes for that one? I just saw you got to raise up.
Yep. I didn't want to look that short compared to Al Snow.
There are no apple crates nearby.
Take two.
Oh
what
yeah,
you
that's a
want
fun
for an
thing.
interviewer is to make all the wrestlers look small by comparison. That's fantastic.
I'm here backstage with Bolo, a world-renowned Taekwondo artist, and I'm not going to say that. So,
What? And also goes into business. I don't want to say he's a Taekwondo. Why?
okay. Don't get hot. If you're hot, so you're hot.
Well, the thing is, there was no like script for any of this. So he was just told like, "Hey, you just met these dudes. Fucking wing it." So he was just like looking at us and being like, "I'm just gonna assume this is what you are." I just remember him hearing my name was Azul, and then him going like purposely saying asshole for like the whole day, and he thought it was like the funniest thing.
That sounds on brand.
Competitors are coming literally from all around the world to be a part of this competition.
Gross.
I'm here with Bolo right now, who has just come directly from Seoul, South Korea, to take part tonight in this amazing.
I love that he looks. Al Snow's looking off camera for cue cards that aren't there. Like I don't know who he's who he's talking to.
It was off the rocks, dude.
Oh shit, we got to end this with
Backstage
the
here
Mad
with you,
Doctor.
and we're wondering what would possess you, a man. I know, granted, you are an incredible, an amazing physical specimen. Astounding. You're literally an alpha male.
Adjust
among
your
alpha
mics,
males.
the windsock. It's all like
What would
cockeyed.
possess you to really put your life on the line?
That's not how it works. You don't just like point it to the.
fine specimen. Yeah. Today I'm going to be
You tip it towards you.
muscle, some double guns.
I think a guard of Buckingham Palace.
Tickets to those gun shows. You taking the hammer? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And I'm going in there, and I'm going to go in there, I'm going to break somebody's neck. I'm going to go in there, I'm going to spit down their throat. I'm going to pull their fucking intestines out through.
Where was this energy for anyone else cutting promos?
That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do today. You hear me?
Yes.
I'll be back.
Why do people who aren't wrestlers
Into the
get
movie.
wrestling more than wrestlers? Yeah, that's what we want. We want 80s cocaine promos.
So there you have it, folks.
Oh, that's what I
That
used to
was
look
Ultimate Deathmatch in all its perverse glory. Maffew, what's your gut reaction to having witnessed this?
I'll still line us on a roast. Aaron Hernandez had a happier ending than that. Thank you very much, Brian Zane, for inviting me. If I'd watched this by myself, I wouldn't have made it very far. But watching you guys was very fun. Something said Ultimate Deathmatch 3.
Mm-hmm. There's 3 of these, and apparently I'm in the 3rd one as like a security guy. I've never seen the final cut of this, but I believe I'm in it in one shot. And if it's anything like this, I can't wait to get that far in the trilogy.
Wait, you weren't in the Battle Royal for number 3?
No, you know what happened? I asked if I could be, and like, the promoter. I don't know if you want me to mention him by name here. Whatever, it's Jeff Manning. He was just kind of gave me this. He shot me this look like I had, fucking shit coming out of my mouth. It was just, how dare you ask to be in this thing? I'm like, okay. I mean, I can't be any worse than fucking Ike Van Dyke in there, or whoever else some of these other people in there. So I think I was a security guy, but I wasn't dressed for it. I was just wearing like my white and like red striped polo shirt, and like there's a scene where Val Venus has a wife or a girlfriend or something, and we have to accompany her out. And so that's all I remember happening in my involvement. So we'll get there someday. But Ethan,
it's worth it.
how does it feel to relive this, man? Like just to see the fruits of your labor 11 years
Oh, those
later.
are some rotten fucking fruit. It hurts a little. I don't know. Like, it's so weird because we did the movie. I saw it once, and then I've never acknowledged it again. And so it's weird going back and going like, yeah, this is just as bad as I remember it being. Like, there's definitely a lot of like wartime flashbacks, and also a lot of like really fucked up things about this movie that like I can't say publicly. But like, there was like actual like illegal shit that happened to like make this movie happen.
I don't doubt that. I mean, on a $250,000 budget such as this, I have a feeling there was some corner cutting on this one. Oh my God, this was definitely hard to relive. But I'm glad I didn't do it alone this time. I'm glad I had some friends with me for this one. Thank you all who have been watching this and been doing the super chats and the whatnot. Actually, if I can try and open this up, and
this was my Vietnam. Absolutely.
Oh, shout out to the chat, which has been on fire for the entire film.
Yeah.
I almost said all night, but that was only an hour and 40. It felt a lot longer.
Right, exactly, right? If I had some horrible disease and they were like, you only have 2 hours to live, I would spend it watching this movie so it feels like I lived for an eternity.
Oh my God, why can't I go back? I'm trying to figure out how to go back to the beginning of the chat to see all the comments, all the super chats. If I can get into the live studio.
It was all compliments.
Moral of the story, don't let Al Snow in your movie. Yeah, because he's the worst part of that movie.
Right, yeah. No, I think that Al did his best. God bless him. He was really trying to carry this thing.
The thing is, I think everybody did their best with what they had to work with, but you were literally given nothing to work with.
Yeah.
Like, there was no day of script. You just had like the director saying, we're going to do this. You figure it out. Like, he was hiring people who weren't wrestlers or actors to make a movie about wrestling.
But you know something? The fact that that film got made in the incredibly dodgy way that it was funded and put together, got DVD distribution with no setup, no big plan other than make a film, I kind of admire the spirit of trauma, spirit of entrepreneur.
It's kind of like, it's like the room of wrestling.
Yes.
Like, it shouldn't be. It's all the wrong parts. But yeah, but somehow it exists. And like, like somebody like printed up these DVDs, like Suncoast. I bought this copy at like a Suncoast.
Oh, you couldn't even get your own. You couldn't even get your own copy provided. You had to buy it.
Yeah, he kept telling us like, "Oh, well, I'm going to send you guys copies." Never got any copies. Literally didn't hear from him again until he was like making the third one, and he was like, "Hey guys, remember me?"
I finally got all the super chats pulled up, so I'll just go through them. John Bresler, $2. Give your snowballs a tug. Indeed. Scott Woodford, $1.99. Not much, but hope this helps. Every little bit helps. By the way, for those of you who came in late, this is for Feeding America, so super chat proceeds go toward them. John Bresler, $5. Ethan, watch your damn language. Braden Birch, $3. Been a huge fan for a few years now. Thank you. Vabum Usbum, $2. It's a gif of a pair dancing and it says, "Hey you." John Bresler again, $5. Was this shot in Longview? That explains so much the drug-addled fever dream this is. Washingtonian, speak to me. One RHPS fan, $2. Feel the excitement, 5 exclamation points. Kiki, $10. Ethan, my bro and I have been to several Defy shows, and you and Mike Santiago were always one of the biggest highlights. Seeing your tag match with Brian Pillman Jr. and Jushin Liger was a privilege. What was that like, Ethan, to wrestle Liger?
It was kind of intimidating. I think I joked on Twitter that my biggest fear is that I was going to tweet about Jushin Liger and it would get corrected to Justin Liger, and then like the internet was going to tear me apart. But the thing is like, it's very hard to find photos of him without his mask on if he's not like painted up or doing something. And so me and Mike got to the building and I was like, "Do you know what he looks like?" And he's like, "No." And then I was like, "Are we just going to look for the oldest Japanese dude and start talking to him?" Yeah, that is our plan. But we got it on one. We got it on one.
Oh, there you go. I can't imagine in the locker room there were too many older Japanese guys backstage. Yeah, Yeah, I saw him without a mask like once, like in England. I'm like, is that? I don't know. Yeah.
I was going to say, Brian. Yeah, I was talking to Dave Lagana, I think, backstage, and it's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then all the Japanese guys came through. So it was like, hello, show, hello, yo, hello, older dude. Oh, right. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Super nice dude, though. He was
very
super jovial.
I've heard that. One RHPS fan, $5. Is it my imagination, or was the NWF shot more expertly than this movie? Yeah, I mean, cable access teenagers in Minnesota had better production quality than an Ultimate Deathmatch. The lad Big R, $10 Canadian. Do you think Al Snow thinks this movie's a masterpiece? I'm gonna bet no. Yet he kept on for 3 movies, for 3 of these. So the money
I'm
must
gonna
have been
say,
good.
I bet you no, but in the same vein, I bet you he used this to like justify bumping up his rate.
Oh yeah, it's like this in his portfolio. It's like, you know, I carried the Ultimate Deathmatch franchise. You better be paying me. John Bresler, $5. I bet they were hoping the syringe gimmick would stick. Yeah. David Matushek, $3.99. I'm feeling so much sympathy for Ethan right now. So was I. Spade Racing, $4.99. Happy Hanukkah to all who celebrate. Thank you. Next year, I'm going to actually remember to get my Hanukkah candles in time because no store is selling them anymore. PD Gaming, $5. Feeding America. That's right. Steve Espinoza, $5. For Feeding America. Thank you. Leon Quashi, £3. Tribute to Trapped. Oh, yes, and we name dropped Trapped a while ago. Tom Talks Rubbish, £4.99, £4.99, I guess. Great Cause. What's everyone's favorite WWE and AEW matches? Like all time? I don't know. Fucking Young Bucks and Paige and Omega is my favorite AEW match. If not Pac and Cassidy. And favorite WWE match, probably Angle Lesnar, Mania 19. That's my pick.
Maffew?
Yeah, what are yours?
Currently, I'll go with. So I tried to answer during the video. Very rude of me. Volta versus Ilya from NXT UK, and Moxley versus Omega, where they bled everywhere and people got annoyed. And Brian Zane's eating something. So let's ask Ethan.
Audibly eating something. This is the worst ASMR video I've ever seen.
Yeah, Brian. No, this isn't Ultimate Deathmatch. Your microphone works.
I think the best AEW match I saw, I don't know if it was the best, but it's the one I liked the most, was Cody and Wardlow in the cage.
Oh, that was good.
Because I thought it was really cool giving like a guy like Wardlow, who wasn't really like an established guy, like a big marquee match like that. And it was like, oh, okay, this is a company that like really is going to like invest in like their upcoming talent. And also that moonsault off what felt like the world's tallest wrestling cage.
Yeah,
like,
that's easily gone bad.
I expected him to Cody to just like hit and just like shatter into like pieces. And then like my favorite WWE match, I'll go really obscure. It's like a 2000 SmackDown. It's the Hardys and the New Age Outlaws in a steel cage. Only because they whip Road Dogg into the corner and he runs up the corner and hits a moonsault.
Yes.
And I was like, what the fuck? You have 0 moves in your arsenal that aren't punches or a knee drop, and your third move of doom is running up the buckle and hitting a moonsault. And clean.
He can only do it once. He can only do it once.
Yeah. It's like a 5-minute match, and it's all high spots.
Yeah. Like one of them gets like back body drop like over the cage at one point, like Jeff Hardy or whatever. Like
Jesus.
Yeah, it's fucking bananas.
Big, $5 Canadian. Lucha Underworld. Tom Talks Rubbish, £2. Thanks for watching this so I don't have to. One RHPS fan, $2. It's the Smoke. Yeah, Paulie Venture probably looks like a very emaciated version of WEW's The Smoke. I can see that. One RHPS fan, $5. Wow, guy bleeds more than Flair, yet the blood's not real. I mean, how do you know Flair's blood's real? I don't know. He could have a corn syrup packet hiding in his forehead. You don't know. Big, $3 Canadian. Saudi blood money is less than Russian mob money. I guess in the case in Longview, Washington, Russian mob money travels farther. John Bresler, he's dropping fives all over the place. $15 total in this run. He asks, was the Steppenwolf cover band called Born to Be Mild? That's another good entry for the cover band name.
I was hoping for Steppen Dad.
Is this a zombie movie now? He also asked. We pointed that out earlier. Timothy McSweeney, $5. It's a pair with a headband saying "ha ha ha." Thank you for that. Big $10. Did the Russian mob have anything to do with this? What a trip and a half. Someone let Dash venture into your boy's stable or Warhammer game. I think Dash venture for those facial expressions, he might just get an honorary spot in my boy's stable. Wendigo, $5 Canadian. What the hell? I missed it. This should go somewhere. Yes. Well, thank you. Wendigo, that money will go somewhere. It will go toward feeding America. And thank you all who've been donating and stuff, and those who've been watching. I think the most we had was like 450 or something, which is pretty rad. At some point we will go ahead and we'll do this. We'll go down the sequels down the line, but that's not happening anytime soon. I think that one's enough, and we all need a break. Before we wrap this up, Maffew, what do you want to plug? Is your website still active? What's the story with that?
Oh, that'll probably be fixed by the time this is. Oh, this is live. When we're talking about this goes up. Yeah, no comment. I'm just going to focus on John Breslau's comment, which just says "stepping down."
Stepping.
So that's
down.
what I want to plug. If you want to follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Maffewgreg, MAFFEWGREGG, and all updates about my site, if it works or not, will be there.
All right, Ethan, what do you want to plug?
Obviously my store, Destiny City Comics. If you go to our Instagram, which is Destiny City Comics, I'm constantly posting tons of shit on there, comic book wise, graphic novel wise, tons of wrestling figures, like literally just like tons of wrestling figures are going up. And then also I have my own podcast, Going Home Early, where I sit and talk with wrestlers and we talk about weird travel stuff, as far as like countries we've been to, weird road trip stories. I've had like Holodead on, Zach Gowen, just put up one with Heather Monroe. Darren Corbin, Danny Makabe. So yeah, check that as well. It's all over Spotify, iHeartRadio, anywhere you listen to podcasts.
All right. And I see there's a couple more super chats I'm just seeing now. Or no, I saw these ones already. These are just lingering up here. But I think that's pretty much all of it. Thank you all so much. Thank you to Maffew and Ethan for taking some time out of your day and night to go watch this and be here with me. And thank you all to, in YouTube land who watched this. And we'll do some more crappy live streams, some crappy movie live streams. I hope this live stream wasn't crappy, but the movie is crappy. So we'll hopefully do some more of those down the line. It's been a lot of fun, folks. For Maffew and for Ethan HD, I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.